So one of the hottest topics of conversation in today's real estate market is the shortage of available homes. Simply put, there's more potential buyers out there than there are homes to accommodate them. Now, as a seller, you've probably heard this is good news for you. It means that you're going to get more attention for your home and likely more offers. Now, as life begins to return to normal after the pandemic, you may be wondering if this situation may change. This is Kiwi the Coast, your luxury real estate specialist, helping you maximize and sell the value of your coastal home. So don't forget to subscribe and let's dive in. While it may be tempting to blame the pandemic for the recent housing shortage, the pandemic cannot take all the credit. While it did make some sellers hold off from putting their homes on the market last year, the truth is that this shortage has been years in the making. Let's take a look at the root cause and what the future holds to uncover why it is still a great time to sell your home. So the first point is, where did this shortage come from? It's not just the high buyer demand. Our low supply goes hand in hand with the lack of new homes being constructed over the past decades. According to Sam Chatter, VP and Chief Economist at Freddie Mac, one of the main drivers of the housing shortfall has been the decline in construction of single-family homes. In fact, data from a recent report from the National Association of Realtors tells the same story. New home construction has been lagging for quite some time. Historically, builders completed on average 1.5 million units every year. However, since the housing bubble of 2008, the level of new home construction has really fallen off. Point number two is the below average pace of construction. Let's look at that. That same NAR report elaborates on the impacts of that below normal construction pace. Looking ahead, in order to fill this gap of 5.5 million units in the next 10 years, while accounting for historical growth, new construction would have to accelerate at a pace that is far above the current new construction trend. And how much would they need to accelerate by? Well, an additional 2 million units per year. That means if we build more homes than the norm every year, it'll still take a decade to close the underbuilding gap that's currently contributing to the supply and demand mix. So does that mean that today's ultimate seller's market is here to stay? We're already starting to see an increase in construction of new homes, which is good news. But newly built homes can't bridge the supply gap that we're facing all on their own. Now, in the State of the Nation's 2021 housing report, the Joint Center for Housing Studies at Harvard says this: although part of the answer to the nation's housing shortage, new construction can only do so much to ease short-term housing constraints. So to meet today's housing demand, more existing homes have to come to the market. Third point, existing home inventory is on its way. Early indicators show that more existing home inventory is on its way. When we look at existing homes, the reports signal that housing supply is growing gradually month by month. Based on recent data, Odetta Kushi, the Deputy Chief Economist at First American, has this to say: it looks like the existing inventory is starting to inch up, which is good news for a housing market parched for more supply. Lawrence Young, Chief Economist at NAR, echoes this sentiment. As the inventory is beginning to pick up ever so modestly, we are still facing a housing shortage, but we may have turned the corner. So what's the bottom line here? Just because this market is starting to return to normal does not mean that you've missed out on the best time to sell. So it's not too late to take advantage of today's seller's market with rising equity and low interest rates. Hey, I hope you found all that information valuable, and we'll see you on the next video. The Room.